On today's Daily Strike, the Lightning earn a point in Washington with a 3-2 overtime loss. This is the latest news and notes on the Tampa Bay Lightning for Wednesday, October 15th, 2025. I'm Steve Versnick. The Lightning were in the nation's capital on Tuesday night for the second half of a back-to-back. They had won in Boston on Monday, 4-3. The Bolts were looking to build on winning hockey, and they got on the board first.
Dowd and Cirelli. Cirelli wins the draw in the offensive zone. McDonough left point. Put it in front. Guentzel! Score! That looked like a set play off the face-off. Cirelli wins it cleanly. McDonough slid it into the middle of the ice for Guentzel on his forehand. He one-times it through the pads of Logan Thompson.
It's Guentzel's first of the year. He now has 31 points against the Caps since the start of the 2020-2021 season. The score would remain 1-0 until late in the second period when Protas tied it with 2:22 to play in the period. In the third, the Bolts got an early power play.
Now it's Kucherov right circle. Kucherov holds. Kucherov. Center point Hedman. Shoot, score! Hedman the wrist shot! That might have been tipped in front. Point or Guentzel. It was Point. Power play goal for the Lightning. It comes with 4 seconds left in the Ovechkin minor. And
it's Point's second of the season and his first on the power play this year. But 3.5 minutes later, the Caps scored a power play goal of their own and the game was tied at 2. It went to overtime and the Lightning never had possession of the puck as the Capitals scored 119 in for the win. So the Lightning earned 3 out of 4 points in this back-to-back. Head coach John Cooper.
Listen, we gave ourselves a chance to win. And for a large portion of this game, I really like the way we played. It's a tough, man, because, you can make mistakes in games and make more mistakes than we did tonight and win games. And sometimes you just make a couple and it doesn't go your way. So, but we got better as a team this entire trip. And, ultimately we played a back-to-back. We got 3 out of 4 points. We did that all year. I'd be loving it.
Brayden Point.
Like you said, 3 out of 4 is usually pretty good for a back-to-back, but it's so early in the season, but we've dug ourselves a little bit of a hole, and then 2 wins would have been really big for us. But I think there's definitely positives we can take out of these 2 games and move forward.
JJ Moser.
I think it was just the fact that we had a good performance and we couldn't get those 2 points. I think that's the reason that where you're a little bit maybe we could have gotten that, but I think the start of the season, like the first 2 games, don't really matter for that.
Defenseman Max Crozier left the game in the first period and did not return. Coach Cooper afterwards says he does not think he'll play in the next game, but had no further comment. The Bolts played with 5 defensemen for most of this game. The Lightning lost the face-off battle on Tuesday, but were much better than they did Monday. They won 26 of 56 for 46%, but lost that one in overtime. The Lightning flew back to Tampa last night, and they'll have today off. They'll have a practice on Thursday in Brandon before they head out to Detroit, where they'll start another back-to-back on Friday night versus the Red Wings and Saturday night in Columbus. Puck drop for both games scheduled for 7 p.m., meaning our radio and TV pregame coverage will start at 6:30 both nights. 102.5 The Bone and the Lightning mobile app for radio. The Spot, Tampa Bay Channel 66 for television. Go to tampabaylightning.com/how-to-watch for more information. The Block Party Podcast, presented by Highlight IPA, is back for season number 7. For today's episode, Greg Wolf and Braden Coburn sat down with former Lightning forward Tyler Johnson. He talked about his time in Tampa, what he's doing in retirement, and Nikita Kucherov's intuition.
He's pretty freaking good. The things he can do with the puck and the way that he sees the ice, he doesn't really have to see you or know where you're at, but he just somehow can tell or sense. He's so good about, I always said, if you were to just pause the game at any point, I bet you could tell you where every single guy on the ice is. He knows where everyone's at. And just because of that, it was nice for me that I knew that I didn't have to go out of my way to try to make sure that he sees me. I just go to the best spot and just sit there and wait for him to find me, because that's just how it works. And then Pally was the same way. We just worked so well together, knowing that we didn't need the extra help. We just knew that we just needed someone to be in the right spot for us.
The Block Party Podcast comes out on Wednesdays in your favorite podcast app and on the Lightning's YouTube channel later in the day.
This day in Lightning history.
It was on this date in 2016.
Tie-up. And it's won by the Devils, but Point first to it behind the net. Brayden Point slips it back to Garrison, right point. He shoots! Score! Deflected by Filppula! The Lightning have their first lead. It's 3-2 with 14:17 left. And Brayden Point made that play, and he'll get his first NHL point.
Brayden Point, playing in just his second game, earned his first point as the Lightning beat the Devils 3-2 to start the season 2-0. Thank you for listening to the Daily Strike for Wednesday, October 15th, 2025. I'm Steve Versnick, where every day is hockey day.